Hello fellow readers, today I am talking about Volume 1 in Yuu Kamiya's light novel series, No Game, No Life. Now, this particular novel is written in the third person. It is about siblings Sora and Shiro, who are known collectively on the internet as Blank. Now, they are such incredible gamers who have achieved such high scores that they're almost considered an urban legend. Now, because they're so good, one day they receive an email from this mysterious figure that says to them, have you ever wondered if you were born into the wrong world or that this world's wrong for you? And so when they click the included link, it goes to a game of chess. Upon winning the game of chess, they are literally dragged into a new world. And in this world, all conflicts are decided via games. There's no war, there's no violence between individuals. It's all decided by games. Now, of course, there's a lot more to this. Sora and Shiro find out that humanity's in a pretty sorry state in this particular world, having lost much of its territory via the games to the other 15 races that exist within this world. So they decide, hey, what can we do for humanity now that we're here? Now, this particular novel is, how can I say this? Whether you like this novel or not is going to depend on your tolerance levels for certain things. It's going to determine whether you can handle women being sexually objectified. Sora is often described as an 18-year-old virgin, and it's, I think, for the reason to describe the fact that he's pretty perverse, and there's one particular female in this book that he really does objectify and treat very poorly. In fact, it's Sora and Shiro's treatment of this particular character that I would say casts a bit of a negative light on them. Now, the other thing about this, though, is that you also have to have, I think, an appreciation for games and what it takes to win games, because a lot of the book deals with the strategies and the thought process and everything else. Also, in terms of the world itself, it's actually really cool, and the way that games are incorporated in things. In fact, like for instance, when Sora and Shiro first arrive, they're confronted by bandits, and the bandits, instead of threatening their lives with weapons or whatever, are like, you'll play a game with us, or else you can't pass. Which kind of flips things a little bit on its head. Which is cool, and it's really a cool kind of fun thing to see how different races manipulate the games or even manipulate the 10 governing laws of the land in order to make things work in their favor. The other thing that's kind of interesting about this book is Sora and Shiro themselves. Very often in these light novels, particularly when you have like a character stuck in a game who has to overcome it, like say Kirito or even Shiro in Log Horizon, they're usually very likable characters and they don't have a lot of very negative aspects to them. With Sora and Shiro, they are just, you can't even tell. Like, one minute Sora's delivering a speech that you think, wow, that's amazing, and you want to cheer, and you think, like, this guy's really deep and everything else, and then he turns around and acts in such an incredibly opposite way that you almost wonder if everything is a game. Even the words that come out of his mouth is just the game. It has nothing to do with who he is as a character. It has nothing to do with what he actually thinks. It just is another way to try and win the game. And in that way, it makes these two characters very unreliable, because you don't know whether to trust them, and you don't know what their motives are, and you don't really know whether they're actually in things for the benefit of everybody else, or if they're really only in it just because they see this as one of the most challenging games that they've ever played, and they are determined just to win to say that they won. But at the same time, that adds an interesting little bit to their characters and kind of makes the book interesting and makes the two of them just that little bit less predictable as characters. And it does give a lot of room for growth because, as I said, we really don't know how much is the game and how much is the character and everything else, so it'll be interesting to see how that develops in further novels. So those are my thoughts on No Game, No Life. It's got a lot of fun points, But again, there is going to be material in here that, depending on your sensitivity levels, may just piss you off. With that said, I did enjoy it overall. I have seen the anime of it, which goes well beyond this particular novel, and I stuck out the whole anime and liked it well enough that I wanted to read the books once they came out. So overall, I like the world, I like the story, I like the fact myself that the main characters aren't quite so cookie cutter and are a little dubious and a bit questionable in terms of their motives and morals. It makes them just that little bit more interesting. Even the objectification of the one particular female character gets a little uncomfortable, and I think that's probably about my biggest complaint of this particular novel. Check it out, it's pretty cool. I will be back with further light novel reviews. If you liked this one, give it a like. If you want to see future ones, by all means, please subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you in my next video. Until then, bye-bye for now.